Something seems to really have Republicans in a highly triggerable state lately. Last week, or maybe it was the week before, they stormed into an impeachment related meeting claiming that they wanted access to impeachment stuff that was happening secretly in the basement of some building with only Democrats. Of course, we later found out that many of the same Republicans that stormed in demanding access have access to impeachment documents and to witnesses, since many of those Republicans are on the committees that are involved in the impeachment inquiry. Yesterday, instead of storming in, they stormed out. Doesn't matter. They just want to be storming around. This time storming out of a Veterans Affairs Committee meeting, refusing to vote on a health care bill for women veterans. What is wrong with these people? This is how it went. The House Veterans Affairs Committee was meeting about a bill for women veterans health care, to get them health care. Republicans did what they often do, and sometimes Democrats do this too. They suggest a variety of amendments, which Democrats rightly identified as poison pill amendments. California Democrat Mark Takano stopped the debate on these proposed amendments because, as he says, these are toxic partisan amendments. They wouldn't actually improve health care for women veterans, which was the point of the discussion that we're having about this bill. The Republicans became irate. How dare you accuse us of that? And then a whole bunch of them stormed out, and it was filmed. Take a look.
Substitute vote now occurs on agreement to Congresswoman Brown is amendment to the substitute. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair.
Now, it's true. The amendments they were proposing had no place in this discussion whatsoever. To bill about women veterans health care, they were proposing amendments related to veterans' firearms rights, for child care. These are fine things to discuss and debate and to legislate, but this is a bill about women veterans health care. And this is a really common thing in American politics. Amendments that are unrelated are introduced. Sometimes the point is to get things passed as amendments that you couldn't possibly get passed as standalone bills. That's one reason for these crazy amendments. The other reason sometimes crazy amendments are proposed is to prevent the bill in total from passing by suggesting crazy and unrelated things. The good news here is that the bill, called the Deborah Sampson Act, was passed by the committee. Even without Republicans voting on it, they had the votes, and now it will go to a full vote in the House. I don't really believe in stuff like karma, but if there are just desserts in our world, Republicans would deserve to be kicked out of office in 2020 by the people that they have so endlessly screwed over. I'm talking about veterans. I'm talking about farmers. In a sense, I'm talking about most groups in general, no matter how you slice or dice it, now that I think about it. But this is another example of Republicans love the military when it's useful and politically advantageous. If it's about supporting some harebrained intervention in some part of the world, let's support the troops and not say that the mission they're on is not a good one. And then when it's not so useful, when it comes to providing them health care, when it comes to former members of the military who might have something to say that's negative about Donald Trump, like Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, all of a sudden, all of that pro-military stuff evaporates very, very quickly. This has come up so many times recently on the show because recently it's been particularly prevalent and extraordinarily brazen. They don't really care about the troops in the real way that they should, making sure that they are properly cared for when they come back from engagements abroad, all of the other things that we've been talking about. This is yet another one of those instances. Vote on the bill. Get the women veterans health care. No, we need amendments about gun ownership. Give me a break. Make sure you're following The David Pakman Show on Instagram at David Pakman Show, and follow me on Instagram at david.pakman.